I'm calling bullshit. Hey, people. Oil companies are out there now saying they took a hit during the pandemic. Bullshit. Full on 100% bullshit. During the pandemic, they made record profits. Look it up, people. Look it up. It's bullshit. They need to stop their bullshit and their greed. They can afford to lower the prices with how big of record billions and billions of dollars they made in record profit. Not millions. Billions. In record profits. During a pandemic. When hardly nobody was driving other than delivery trucks. It's bullshit. And you need to call them on it. Stop sitting there thinking that it's Biden's fault for all this price bull crap. It is not. It is Putin's fault for the war he started unjustly on Ukraine. It is Putin's fault for digging in with Iran and Saudi Arabia. So it's Iran and Saudi Arabia's fault too. These big oil producers. They're siding with Putin on his unjust war. Maybe next we should be just fine if Putin decides to come over to Alaska and annex it. I am so sick of you people who are so energy hungry that you don't give a shit what happens to Ukrainian people, as long as it's not happening to our people. When did the world get so fucking heartless? You people make me sick. You really make me sick. You want to blame somebody for these oil prices? You blame Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Putin. You don't go blaming Biden. He's doing everything he can to kowtow to you crybabies who could give a shit less about anybody else's life but your own to lower the gas prices. And he's done pretty darn good. But because you're a bunch of selfish little pansy crybabies, you're going to blame Biden for it. Straight up and simple. You're a bunch of pansy, heartless crybabies who don't pay attention to what's actually going on. The oil companies made record profits in the billions during the pandemic. Why? Because they price gouged the hell out of you. And now they got you believing you don't want electric energy. You don't want solar panels. You don't want turbines with wind energy. You don't want none of that. They push that so hard on you, you are totally against any of that so that they can keep their control over you. You know, when oil runs out and you're still fighting against that, I'm going to laugh at you stupid suckers. Because you're too damn freaking stupid to pay attention to the facts. Fact one, Russia has been waging war and trying to rob an independent country of their land because they are not part of NATO since before 2013. And he's been chipping away at them ever since. It's a land grab by Putin. No different than when, what's his name, the leader before Putin, went out there and starved the Ukrainian people to death to grab that land. And if you believe that the Ukrainians are a bunch of Nazis when they have a freaking Jewish leader, you're a bunch of fucking idiots. Believe Putin over the facts. You're idiots. And that's whether you're in Russia or not. You're idiots. Too fucking willing to believe the lies of one person than to believe the facts. That's almost like saying that slaves were treated with respect. And they enjoy being slaves. Because white man tells you that. Native Americans love to be genocide. Because they appreciated what all the white man brought to their land. You guys are a bunch of foolish idiots. If you think for one moment that Putin will stop at Ukraine, you are so stupid. So freaking stupid that you don't belong having children. You're putting them in danger. Putin won't stop with Ukraine. If he gets the chance to subjugate Ukraine and brainwash them people, next he's going to go on to the next closest country that is not NATO aligned and do the same. And if he wins Ukraine, places like Japan and China and North Korea are going to join him because they're going to see it as strength. That even with the might of America and the European countries, nobody can stop Putin. So they'll join him. And they're going to be stupid. Because in the end, Putin will try to take them over too. And once he's done with all that and got all that power, and all those people he can subscript into a war they don't want to belong to, he's coming after us. Don't be fooled. Don't be stupid. That is the way people like Putin are. Can't remember the name of the leader before Putin, but that is also the way he was. I'm not great on names, but that's the way he was. If you remember right, if anybody knows your fucking history, Russia used to back Hitler. He was all in with Hitler. But when they seen Hitler wouldn't win, they backed out. Because that's the way Russia is. But they treated the Jewish people just as bad as Hitler did. They even treated their own people that bad. There were more people from Russia who died from lack of proper equipment than what died at the hands of Hitler's soldiers from freezing to death in the elements. But you people are too fucking stupid to pay attention. And whatever comes from your stupidity is on you. It's not on us that are paying attention, that are trying to not be oil dependent, who are trying to make it so places like Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Iran, and Syria, and all these oil-rich companies don't have power over us. That no, oil isn't going to last forever. And personally, I think part of Putin's rush that he's doing right now is because he knows his oil in his country is limited. And he knows that wind energy and solar energy and hydro energy is coming. So he needs that Ukrainian land for the grain that is growing there. He's counted on one economy for his nation, and that's oil. So now he wants to take the Ukrainian grain. So not only does he have, for a short period of time, his country has the power over oil and energy, he will have the power over food. And when he gets that power, what you gonna do? Rise up, you stupid freaking idiots. These oil problems are not because of Biden. It's because of Putin, his alliance with Iran, his alliance with Saudi Arabia. It's because of that. Not because of Biden. Biden's scrambling to do everything he can to keep prices down. And you have absolutely no appreciation for it. The only thing you give a crap about is that you get what you want when you want at a price you can afford. You don't care if what you want will result in the subjugation and murder of billions of people, millions of people, how many other people in Ukraine and across the world. So long as you get what you want. Fine. If you don't care, move to frickin' Russia. If you don't care whether or not we live in a democracy or an autocracy, move to Russia. Because if America loses its democracy and you start realizing how little you get then, I'm going to tell you now, it's going to take a war to straighten it out. So one way or another, we will end up in war. Whether it be because of politician rhetoric out there instead of politicians working together to make America better, or whether it be because some foreign country who is making your gas prices higher. If we lose our democracy, once people start realizing how much we lose without democracy, it will take a war to get our democracy back. And we may never see a democracy again in our time. And they're chipping away. The Republicans and the religious right are chipping away at our democracy already. They've not only told women, you think it's only women that they're telling they don't have a right to privacy? No, they're telling all of you that. Because if they can take a woman's right to privacy away, they can take your right to privacy away. Don't be fooled. Don't just wait long enough for it all to set in and know that it's being accepted. That women's right to privacy is being taken away. Then they're going to grab yours. If they can take a woman's right to the autonomy of their own body away, they're just going to wait to see how long it takes before the nation accepts that's the way it is. And then they're going to take yours away. Because that's the way all countries do it. They chip little by little, just like Russia is doing to Ukraine, little by little, until you have nothing left that is in your own choice and decision. They chip little by little. And if you're choosing to be atheist or Muslim or Jewish, they're going to chip. And before you know it, the only religion you're allowed to follow is Christianity. And you got to wave that banner. They chip little by little. And before you know it, women aren't allowed to remarry after their husbands cheat on them and divorce them. In fact, a woman isn't even allowed to request a divorce. And a woman isn't allowed to own a bank or a business or a home or have the right to say what happens with their children. Because that's the way they do it. And they take away your voting rights. Because women shouldn't have that. The Bible says women have no power. Only men do. And men say only white men do. So keep it up. They're going to chip at you. They're going to keep on pulling and chipping until there's nothing left. Because that's the easy way for the politician. They don't have to worry about kowtowing to the public and following what the public wants. They just have to do what they want. That's the way it's done in Russia. That's why you see people pouring out of Russia by the millions to avoid being put into military service because they know they don't have any rights. They have no choice but to go into service or to be killed. So you keep it up. You're a bunch of stupid freaking idiots. The oil companies made record profits. During a pandemic, they made record profits in the billions. Record! That doesn't mean equal profits to the years before the pandemic. When everything was still normal, there was no war with Ukraine and no pandemic. No, that means record profits of all time. Bigger profits than what was made before the pandemic. Bigger profits than what was made before the Ukrainian war. Record profits. Get that in your head. Record profits. How did